Right, so we've gotten all the URLs into the database. Now it is time to actually hit those URLs and then get the data out of them, like the recipe itself. And I did fix the interpreter issue I was having, thankfully. So why don't we get a new notebook and we'll rename it to recipe scraping. We're going to want this. C. Okay, and then I'm going to, since we have all those URLs, we don't have to really do much else. I mean, we don't have to like go out and try to find them manually. So, if you get what I mean. So I'm going to take a random sample from our database. So let's just say sample URLs equals so db.session.query. This is how you select things. We saw how to insert. Now we're seeing how to select things out. db.url.all, and so it'll be row.url for row in. And so random sample of that, and let's get like 40. Okay, so sample URL 0. Cool. So let's kind of look at it. And then let's put this as first. And then let's just do this. Make soup. Oh my gosh, URL. We're going to say I don't know what's wrong with my typing right now. Return BS of requests dot get URL HTML dot parser. Oops, that's not it. It's headers that I was thinking of. Headers equals headers request dot get URL dot text. Okay, so soup equals make soup of first. Okay. Soup dot find. We know we're gonna find something. What do we want first? I think maybe initially what we can grab is by Chef Al. Ready? I'm thinking the chef first. Let's look at it. So it is located inside of this post info tag. So let's find the post info tag, and then the a tag of the a tag text. So find div post info dot find a dot text. Okay, so soup find div post info dot find a dot text Chef AJ. Okay, great. So this is going to be our author. Okay, then so that was it, Chef AJ. Let's stick with that one. Okay, we're going to want the description. So that was kind of in the same area. Post open close. It looks like we have the p tag contains what we want. And then there's more info here. That's a lot of EMs. M. Weird. Okay. So let's do find div post open close find p dot text. Okay. Soup dot find div post open close find p dot text. Okay, that's looking pretty good. So let's just go with sample URLs. Let's not do all of them. Let's do like 15. So make soup URL, and then we'll print and we will print that. Okay. Looking pretty solid. I do recall that it's not this simple. I have done this. I have been through this once. So let me just try to see here. I think there are some cases where the first p tag is not whatever you call it. It's not the description. So let's look at like 10 more. None type has no find. So we did not print the URL. That's going to be helpful in this. Print URL. So in this sample set, we run into this problem, but that's okay because this URL is not actually for a recipe, which is fine. So we'll just try catch that later. But what is interesting was how this one didn't really give us much info. So there is no description, but we don't want like this random stuff coming into our description. So we should probably figure out a way to like exclude the p tags that are part of that post info parent. So let's look at this one specifically and say soup equals make soup of so and so. Soup.find div post, what is it, post info was the post open close open close dot find. We only we're finding the first p tag. Find p dot tag. I want to just see. Let's just call this our test p. Test p. What's that? So we have test p, and I want to know if this guy is a child to post info. So this is something new for me. Let's see. We have find parent. So what's that kind of do? So method find parent, and then so dot adders again. Okay, cool. So that's a good way to exclude those. So I think what it's going to be is, let's call it description helper. It'll take in soup, and then find all p tags, and then we'll say, let's get description started. And in addition to checking if the p tag is a child of a div tag with class equaling post-info, we want to check if the p tag.text has a length greater than 0, because we don't want to include it in the description if it's blank. If len of p tag len of p tag is greater than 0 and p tag dot find parent dot adders class, so I guess we want to know is post info equal to right, adders dot, not dot, but really, what is this? Class, maybe we could just say in. That might be a safer way to go about it. So, okay, there we go. So, and post info in. So if it's greater than 0 and not in, why don't we double check that with one that we know works? Just like that. Test P, false. Okay, good. So for that particular URL, all of the p tags that have a text length greater than 0, and all of the p tags that are not a child to a div tag with a class of post info will add on to that description. Then description plus equals p tag dot text. There we go. All right then. So for, do we already have one of those kind of written out? Yeah, we do. Okay. Print. Oh, return it. Print out description of soup. All right, so everything is good with description. Something was throwing me off down here, but I think it's fine. Looks like it's picking up everyone. Why don't we run it all? There's only 40. There's some new lines in there. We could do a strip, and that should, or replace new line or something. Oh, that's something too. And that one's fine. We're going to try accept that. So I think we're pretty good. Let's actually, let's append a space and then the text. And then return description dot strip. And do, yeah, we could also, I don't really like doing methods in the return, but it works, it's fine. I just think it's less readable, but something about string methods, they're just, I don't know, somehow they're not as hardcore in my mind. So, what now? Oh. Okay, so let's try that. Cool. And then I also think I did see it in one instance. I haven't seen it again. I think maybe something with this print function, but I also want to say 0. I don't know what that is technically, but okay. So this should be good to go. We're good to go with that. So now I want to know, how do we get to we've got the chef, we've got this. Let's get into the goods, the ingredients. It looks like it's going to be section ingredients, and we're going to get all the li items. So what we should do is say soup.find div, and what is it, section ingredients dot find all list items. It's going to be li.text for li in. Soup equals make soup of sample URLs. Let's just take like the third one. I think that one's good. So, okay, there we go. Pretty. Now, looks pretty good. Why don't we say, so for URL in sample, let's stick with that first 15, because we know that the bad URL is not in there. And yeah, I'm not seeing a whole lot of bad things, or like gaps. 1 cup of frozen strawberries, 1 cup of frozen strawberries. Why is it the same? For URL. Oh, I forgot to make the soup. No wonder it looks so even. Okay, there we go. And it still looks okay. So yeah, I like that. Let's just move on. Now we want instructions. Instruction list, that one's a little weak. Let's get one with more instructions. And it's going to be I guess we'll just get section instructions and find all li. I think that was a div though this time. No, right, that was ingredients. Over here. Div, no, it's section instruction. Okay, it's kind of nice. Find all li. Preheat oven. Ooh, we don't like that. Maybe there's something. What can we do about that? Where did it pick all those up? We're in section instruction. Maybe we should drill into instruction box. Instruction box. Okay. Nope, still getting blanks. Find div instruction box. Find OL. 1, 2. So let's find the OL. There, much better. Okay, cool. Let's do a similar checker outer. Control V. Soup. Soupity soup. Print this. Yeah. Is this all one string though? Then no, maybe not. Why would it be? Meanwhile, cook noodles, drain and keep warm. Let's just check one here. Meanwhile, yeah, there's 3 items. Sometimes there's big. Okay, cool. So that's looking pretty solid. Let's just move on from that. We mark it? We mark description. Let's mark ingredients. Let's mark instructions. And then I think the last thing that I'm interested in getting off of here are those tags that we saw on some of them, not all. Tags. There we go, chili. So the tags are going to be in the UL class, the UL tag of tags list. Find all li. Okay. So li dot text for li in soup dot find the ul of tags list dot find all li. Yay, tacos. Happened to be in the one we had. That's good. So we can do our little check. Soup, print. Has no object find all. Right, because it's not always there. Which is fine. No. Okay. So let's just double check that the ones that are not there, and actually double check. None of them have more than one tag. That's a little odd, but also possible. So this one should not have any tags. And yeah, I don't see them. That's good. So let us unleash it now that we have our try except. And let's try to find one with multiple tags. Night cream? Nice cream. Middle Eastern. Okay, here we go. Yeah, we're capturing multiple tags. Just had to make sure. Okay, I like the tags thing. So this will be tags. So these are all the things we're going to persist. And then I guess lastly, we want this. I feel that is good to know. Inspect. Let's just back it up to box post control. This is frustrating. Where are you? I think this is working. I like the span. When we say li, that's not really what we want. Kind of works, but the span is going to be better. The thing is, the first item is kind of like, it looks like it's whatever it's pretty much everything we want, but it's just going to take a little bit more. We'll have to split on new line and everything. So I think we'll just kind of get all of the spans and then go through the last ones And then, so like this one, the first one is prep time, blah, 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 ready time. If we just ignore that first string and then just look at that string and then look at that string, we can do a check if prep time in, if ready in. So let's go ahead and write that out. So let's see here, spans equals that. Then let's say for span in spans 1 to the end, basically if ready in span dot text, then we'll like store it, print we'll say, we'll just print, it's kind of redundant, but yeah, just print it. Okay, print span dot text, and then yeah, that makes sense. Then prep time in span text, print span text, and then if makes, do we get any makes? Cook time. We have ready in, oh, cook time, we want cook time. What was it? Cook, uppercase, time. Seems weird that prep dash time, cook uppercase is like kind of mixed up. Ready in, cook time, in print span dot text. I just need something to indicate something other than it just printing it, so we'll know. Print 1. Okay. What don't you like for spans? Span text or span and soup to find all span. What's wrong? Line 3. Oh, spans equals. Still not liking it. String has no. Oh, we already have it as text. Not bad. All right. We left off with trying to find this part, and I'm super stubborn and I just needed it. So I didn't stop until I figured it out. It's really weird what it does, but for whatever reason, I'll show you how. I'll just show you for the sake of showing you. Let me get rid of these just so you can see it happen. So so let's do soup is make soup test. Okay, and then let's write okay. So in here, so we all know what we're looking for. We're looking for that. Makes about 12 cups. Strangely, it sits outside of this HTML tag. Don't know why, but it does. So instead of trying to drill in where we think it is based on the browser, we can just do, there's a few things we can do. So we can say all spans. This might be kind of computationally extensive, whatever the word is. So there's another option. I mean, we could sit there and time it, but let's just see. So soup find all spans, and then for span in all spans, if makes in span.text, print span.text. So there it is. So we can get it. I just don't really not fond of this, of calling all of it. But maybe it's not that big a deal. I mean, it's probably fine. We're not like, it's not really crucial that this runs so fast, because I was thinking, I don't know why it does that. That's so weird to me. But I also wrote a text file. So if we just get the text, or if we just get the request and get the HTML as it comes through as request and call that raw, we can also write that to a file. And as you'll see, this, okay, so it's in here, and it's not outside of the HTML tag. So I don't think, anyway, it's kind of hard to tell for sure. But no, it's not, because if you search for the HTML tag, it's at the very bottom. So it's very strange that Beautiful Soup is doing that. I don't know why it's doing that. There might be some setting that I didn't do. Not sure. So the other option is to just take the raw, and then as you saw, 12 cups. I imagine it's kind of written out the same every time. So we could just split on the raw text, split on that, and then we'll get two strings inside of a list. So we'll take the second of those two strings. Take the second of those two strings, which will be from this position all the way to the end. And then we could split on span, which will then give us two strings from that. And then take the first string and we'll get makes about 12 cups, as you can see there. So there's two ways of doing it. I think I'll do this way. I think that's just going to be the most like logical. And like I said, it doesn't really matter how fast this scrapes. So this will be the makes part. So yeah, we could also make sure that that works. So for span and spans, that is just the spans of that object. But then we were going to have to all spans. No need to write it out twice. All spans. And then we should get that. So let's do the last 20 and see what happens. Oh. Oops. So URL. I thought every recipe made 20 cups, so I was like, that's interesting, or 2 or whatever it was. Okay, yeah. So we got it. It took a long time. I went for a bike ride and I was like, why don't you, like, basically I realized that just because we're looking at something here, there's no guarantee that there's no guarantee that this is what Beautiful Soup is for us. I was just under that assumption, and I should have realized it sooner, because yeah, it was making me crazy. So now we have it, and we have all of that working. So now I guess we'll call this like the ready prep makes. All right, so that'll be it for this video. In the next one, we're going to transfer all of this stuff from the notebook into the actual Python file. Sorry, this one was pretty chopped up. I just didn't want to include a bunch of me figuring out what was wrong. I tried to make it as continuous as possible, so hopefully you're still able to follow along with what was going on. So yeah, thanks for watching, and again, the next video is going to be writing out the Python file and inserting the recipe into the database.